Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Tuesday, number 25 day for the month of October 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonian Defense Forces and the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Past King, our own countryman. Welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they speak the truth, where they bring meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we navigate this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, we start today with good news where they come from the 5th Brigade for inside Bamenda, the capital of our resistance. The Ambazonian Defense Forces Bamenda Brigade then launched an attack today against the Cameroon occupation forces in one of their checkpoints around Mile 2 Nkwen. According to the mission commander, one Cameroon terrorist occupation forces was neutralized while the other called for backup, and the operation is still ongoing. Our forces will continue to outflank La République du Cameroon forces and make sure we deny them any space to set up roadblocks where they harass our people and extort them for money. As Cameroon continue to resist to leave Ambazonia, we will fight until the last Cameroon military man is booted out of our territory. While in the Atlantic state, the 9 priests, father, nun, and Catholic faithful who were adopted from their worship service on the 16th of October have finally been released. Video footages have emerged of the victims being paraded in one La République du Cameroon commissioner's office. The debate raged on amongst Ambazonian circles, with tough debates in the Ambazonian War Council regarding the definition of kidnap. Should we call actions carried out by legitimate Ambazonian forces who might have gone rogue or ill-advised, who go out deliberately adopt civilians for no other reasons but to receive money from them, as kidnapping or an arrest? Such adoptions have become extremely politicized within the Ambazonian liberation movement. The position and the policy for the Ambazonian Governing Council has always been that no civilian who have committed no crime or suspicious of committing any crime should be taken into custody. Our policy, it don't always be say, any Ambazonian where they don't see catch them just because they want to take money, no be say they can get any reason for suspect he say they work with the occupation terrorist Cameroon forces or he collaborate with them. But simply because you see some man, if you say give money, you hold him by force. You take that man go and come, you ask money for ye. When are the main thing that will make a hold a man, would then they define them as kidnapping, whether it be done by Ambazonian forces, whether it be done by Cameroon occupation forces or criminal gangs and cartels, where they take advantage for this chaos caused by this war. The position of the Ambazonian Governing Council is to define such actions as kidnapping for ransom. In our fight against kidnapping for ransom, the Governing Council have approved the creation of an anti-kidnapping squad and appointed your humble servant, the Czar of anti-kidnapping. We have been working on those principles and guidelines presented by the Governing Council to label every kidnapping as kidnapping or any adoption, even when done by real Ambazonian fighters for the purpose of extorting money or for raising money to fight the war, should still be called kidnapping. But with the politicized nature of the liberation movement, people start to wonder or question, why should we call actions or adoptions or arrest as defined as kidnapping? You can call them illegal arrest, unlawful detention. You can call them whatever name you choose to call them. But make no mistake, acts such as this on innocent Ambazonian civilians are acts against Ambazonia. It transforms our liberation struggle and plays into the narrative of the enemy. It turns our population against our struggle and quench their heart for freedom. And sometimes even slavery with La République might be appealing to our people who have gone through such trauma. But we want to thank God that many Ambazonians who have gone through this trauma for the love of country and patriotism, have held their line and continue to do so for the demand of freedom of Ambazonia and complete independence. In the video where that appear online, it show the victim them for that adoption. They deny help from La République du Cameroon, their police or their military. We want to can use them for propaganda by giving them escort into Manfe.
To cross the river, military can come.
Military can come, says the Cameroon commissioner, the occupation commissioner, a word that sends chills in the eyes of those victims of this adoption. They look at each other in bewilderment as they look at the commissioner being afraid, even so, with utter rejection of the idea that the Cameroon occupation military will come and meet them, let alone escort them. They know what the Cameroon military are capable of doing, killing Ambazonians, irrespective of whether you have committed a crime or not.
The administration has just called that they are sending the military to accompany you. The problem is, let me tell you are going to mountain.
As the commissioner of La République du Cameroon occupation, just simply the mention of the name Cameroon military turns the face of all those victims into anger. Why will somebody who have been so-called kidnapped, have stayed in the bush, have risked their life, they were almost killed, come in the presence of what was supposed to be a peaceful place, a commissioner's office, and is even still afraid of the Cameroon occupation military? This is to show Ambazonian the true picture of what Cameroon military are to our people. They are terror. They are terrorists. Our people are scared of hell in the presence of Cameroon occupation military. These are forces of terrorism. There have never been an example like the one of victims of kidnapping. The Cameroon government have weaponized kidnapping. Finally, we have victims of kidnapping who are gentlemen, who are priests, who are nuns, who are catechists, people such as this, being terrified by the sheer mention of the name Cameroon military, can tell you the story of Ambazonia with Cameroon occupation.
You do not want any. Let me ask you a question. Anytime to be visited and father. That is why we are here. If now, for example, you take these people now, and on your way they have another problem. Come say, I know that we are not praying for that. That's true. We are not praying for that. If you take them now, and on your way moving to Manfe, they fall in another trap. You are going to blame who? You are going to blame the administration that until they entered, they were not protected. No, Commissaire will not blame the administration. You know, they are accusing us. No, they will not even know. Listen, what I want to accusing us that we are exactly what government are doing this want to mitigate, want to reduce. Father.
The victims objected and they says they are being accused of working with the Cameroon occupation forces. This is the story. Our people do not want people who work with the Cameroon military or collaborate with the Cameroon occupation administration in any shape or form. The message is clear to the Commander-in-Chief of La République du Cameroon, Mr. Paul Biya Dangote, and their cabal. You have been rejected. In Ambazonia, your place is no day. If there was any hope for La République du Cameroon that kidnapping for ransom will help them turn the tides of democracy to the embrace of one Cameroon, the answer is definitely out. The report card is clear. No, the people of Ambazonia will reject you even when they are victims of kidnapping, as had been predicted. When the people of Ambazonia shall rise, nothing shall be able to stop them. They have been like a balloon forced underwater. It is inevitable that that balloon will pop up. That balloon have finally popped up. The people want nothing to do with Cameroon, nothing to do with their terrorist military, who only professionalism is to kill our children, burn people in their house, rape old women, senior citizens, and leave them lying in their own blood. It is systemic. It defines the conduct of the Cameroon military and those who stands for that their flag, a symbol of terror and oppression to our people. And to all the Ambazonian forces in Manu, we now know that from this issue, Ambazonian so-called fighters, in quote, have been arrested in their numbers in Agoja. Agoja is one of the camps with the highest number of Ambazonian refugees. During the course of this issue, the Cameroon government have collaborated with the Buhari government to send in a lot of reinforcement in that locality. They have been going around arresting our people. If there is any Ambazonian defense official within Ogoja, I will advise them to leave that area or take measures to secure themselves. The whole of that area is in a code red. You know what I mean. Ogoja is code red. And I will tell our people that I was disheartening receiving report from our intelligence officer dispatched by the Ambazonian War Council in Ogoja. It's very, very sad. Our Manu people, again, I repeat, have to wake up. I'm very shocked with the reports and the videos coming in from Manu. Our soldiers should remember that when we came in with self-defense, soldiers take oath to fight for their country. That is the oath that was preached by Dr. Cho Ayaba and Ebenezer Akwanga, who preach for self-defense. It gives us a guiding principles. It gives us a way to conduct ourselves. And what we have seen in Ogoja during this period is a disgrace. The soldiers who were arrested or civilians who were arrested, whoever, General Atako escaped from what we heard, and we thank God for that. He has run away from Boki, but all Ambazonian fighters who are there, they should take note and learn. And all of our Manu Ambazonians, they should learn. They are openly saying that the struggle have become a business. No doubt, they are grouping themselves under this leaderless and faceless group that have emerged on ground zero. And our people should know where this thing is headed to, and the type of people who sits to manipulate these people, their conduct so far. When they have collected millions, they come into Ogoja. Oh, my people, you'll be shocked to see images of how these boys, our soldiers or ex-soldiers or whatever you call them from Ogoja, how they squander money. They squander money. They go, you collect money from Coco and all those things. You don't go to buy weapon at the time of war. Whoa, Manu, may the spirit, the lion heart of the Manu man rise in you. May you remember your oath when you pick up guns to defend your country. Soldiers cannot be eating money in this manner in the middle of a war. Some are even saying this struggle have become a business to balance the gap between those who have been given privileged position in the regime of Yaoundé and the poor Ambazonians who have been left behind. No, it is not. Remember your oath, soldier. Remember your oath. Agagam boys, Boki boys, Akwaya boys, Mavas boys, even Bamenda boys, people knocking chairs in bars, in clubhouses. This one will say, I am ADF. This one, I am ARF. Squandering money, especially those who have rest from fight. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. Remember the blood of your colleagues. Remember the sacrifices of our people who are still paying those prices for our freedom. And come back to your sense. All this alarm will be exacerbated by people coming out to create political organizations for soldiers. How will you create political organizations for soldiers if you don't chop your own money? Why you no go shidong you quiet with their own? You must come begin the try for spoil the whole struggle. When una give political position, they make so-called election, they appoint general them, financial secretary, communication, this and that, ministry of that, ministry, even including science and technology in the middle of a war. We all know the principle that have been guiding us in the ADF because it has been tested in many other countries. And it is true. Political positions for political objectives motivate individuals for political purposes. Appointing and electing soldiers to such positions and such organizations will only dampen their spirit. No doubt, The rate of attack against La République du Cameroon have significantly dropped since this so-called ground zero whatever have been paraded to politicize soldiers on the battlefield. When you have positions, you have to survive to maintain that position. Military positions motivate for military objectives. That is why we limit the positioning of soldiers even away from our ADLA, the Ambazonian Liberation Transitional Authority. That's why we involve the civilians. It is for a reason why military must remain military, focus to their military objective and their operations. Be alert, be stayed in command, and function as military men. Ambazonians will never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Oh, Ambazonia, may the Manu spirit rise up in our hearts. Wherever the blood of Ambazonia flows, in every male and female able body, may our spirit of Manu, the lion and the elephant spirit, the Oroko spirit, rise up in us to remember our oath, and for the civilians to remember our obligation to our state during this period of war, to do what it must take. It is upon us to free ourselves. It will never come from the skies. No manna will come from the skies upon us. We must collaborate. We must adopt best practices. We must focus on defeating the enemy and less on internal rivalry, jealousy that can only lead to one thing, giving the enemy the advantage. Do not disgrace yourself to try to challenge the nationalists. You will never win. The only way you can win is to be a nationalist, and then you will be fighting the same fight. You will be having the same focus, and together we will collaborate to effectively drive away the big snake that is in Ambazonia, which is La République du Cameroon. Ambazonians must stand hand in hand, those abroad and those at home, hand in hand. No evil forces should divide these two combinations that is deadly to the enemy. The Cameroon government have tried to use cut-off internet to divide and take away the diaspora from ground zero. They have failed. No evil person should come and play that role that the enemy have failed to succeed. Do not turn our men into boys. Do not transform our soldiers into picture-taking heroes. War no be chingom cat. War no be chingom cat. No matter the struggle, go up, come down. Ambazonia shall arise. Common sense shall prevail. The lost children shall be found, and they will find their home. They will find their way back home. Capo Daniel, signing off.